Happy Monday. Hope you had a great Easter weekend. Let me turn down the volume there. All right, so on all access lesson and a few extra friends, I included a few extra people. And I'm looking forward to block 3 today, and this is the day we finish the course for today. Not in this lesson, but I am off today, and I'm going to put the finishing touches on the new course. Okay, so we're working on block 4 today. You guys would know we've been doing all the other blocks. In fact, we did 1, 2, and then 4. And now we're going to go to 3. 3 is kind of relatively simple, but again, it's the context of putting it together and putting the chords surrounding the other chords. So we're looking at D minor 7 in a most basic form, and then you have a G13 with a flat 9, an E minor 7 actually in root position, but it's things you can do to make it really sound nice. And then we have the A7 with the A13 with the flat 9 as well. So let's go ahead, and before we dig into all the teaching, let's get in the chat and everybody say hello and do what we always do, and you can welcome each other. Doug, first on this morning, the first subscriber to my YouTube channel. I'll always be able to call you the first person that signed up for my YouTube channel. Okay, now the next thing is this. I cannot remember if we're unlisted or live. We might be live for the YouTube community, not sure. Vance, good to see you this morning. Awesome. Oh, volume is low. Thank you very much. That's what I needed to hear. Now the volume is fixed. Yeah, good to see you, Doug, and good to see you, Vance. Both of them are members of the YouTube community, which I absolutely love. Okay, as I meant to say, I know it was low this morning. I hope you guys had a great weekend. And Vicky said no sound. Is that true? No sound? Somebody tell me how the sound is doing now. Okay, wow, that volume threw me off. Hey, Rick, good to see you. All right, hey, good to see you, Hugh, as well. Is the sound working good now? Are we in a good zone here? Okay, Vance said, if Vance says it's good now, then we're good. Whenever, if the volume is low for some reason, you can let me know. And also if the piano's not working, or if one of the cameras is frozen. And sometimes the volume might be low because this new setup is routed a little bit different than the other one was. So sometimes it knocks my other settings when I'm doing other things than streaming will knock that volume down. So it's always good to know. All right, very good. Yeah, it's good to see each one of you, and I love it when you guys not only talk to me but everyone else in our community. All right, so we have 7 people watching, and we are about to dig into block 3 from the new course, which I said at the beginning, I'm finishing this today. I'm actually off work today. I'm so excited to be in the studio and do all these things. Another really fun all-access thing before we dig in is I am creating a practice routine for you guys, and I've already been including some amazing things. Let me read off a few of those. So let's see. So creativity, community, and consistency are some of our themes, okay? So we're talking about 10 minutes, shape 1 in the right hand, and the left hand, focus on C, F, and G blues. 10 minutes of scales. We're starting to get into those again. Metronome on beats 2 and 4. You guys know how important that is. Try one new shape or something from the new course. Okay, so then we have on Tuesdays, left-hand comping 2 and 4, 10 minutes a day, play along tracks, metronome swing field 2 and 4, and then I have a record a 30-second groove, an audio thing. So there are some things that we're going to start doing where we may encourage each other to. You don't have to always show. let the group listen to you play, but some of you have taken me up on that. Like you'll play 20 seconds, 30 seconds, or a whole song and say, yes, it's okay to share it with the group. That's kind of fun, but there's no pressure there. And everybody loves it. Even if you played one note and then the next week you played 2 notes, everybody's going to celebrate you. So then we have the 16. We're still working on our sweet 16 licks that we've done. I want you guys to practice those. And then, yeah, I have about 20, 30 more tips that I haven't even read off today, but trying to get you guys a simple practice routine that's based on different days, so it's not the same thing every day. All right, here we go. All right, we're working on block 3. This is a 30-minute lesson for those of you who are not All Access members and hanging out. And we've been working on our new course that's coming out this week. I said it was going to come out next week, but I had several other things I've been working on, and I don't want to rush it. So D minor 11, this is block 1, and then we know what block 1 is, right? And another really important thing to know is just interesting. I woke up this morning and had about 5 requests for this Shape 1 PDF. That's kind of interesting because people are really loving this idea of these chords. And so for 5 people in the middle of the night to ask for a request of block 1, that's a really good sign. Block 1 is this: D minor 11, G 13, E minor 9, and A7. Let's just do a quick review of that. So everybody say hello to my dad. What's up, Dad? T-Man is in the house. All right, D minor 11, D minor chord with the C major chord. This is a great one to start transposing into different keys. And what do we do? Rick knows, he said it last time, it's a D minor triad, go down a whole step, and you play a major triad above, right? So if I'm an F, I go down a whole step from my pinky and play an E flat major triad. So it's just a minor triad with a major triad, right? And now we have this, like let's say if I did an E minor here with a D major, like listen how nice it sounds to do like F minor, and here's the voicing, and you go down by a whole step. So I'm here, and now I need E flat minor, even that. I go down another whole step, and then go down another whole step. Let's do it up here. Isn't this nice, everyone? If you understand or agree with me that it's so nice even just to sit on a voicing like this, like how nice is that simple voicing? And everybody knows this who's a member of iMusicAcademy, is that if you spread this out, and now I have a D minor with a C major, and how beautiful is that chord right there? So the first block 1, we're just doing a block 1 review, and then we're digging right into the next one, okay? So here we go, D minor 11 goes to this in our block 1, right? And even this right here, G13, how do you get to this G13 voicing? We're talking about solo piano. If I take a G octave and I go down a whole step, that gets me the root and the flat 7, 3, 13, and 9, right? And I'm sitting on the voicing, I'm just getting used to it. Now maybe I want to say, all right, there's the let's go back to G13, G13 voicing. And even this, you guys know how I like to slide notes, black notes to the white note. What a beautiful sound that is. It just gives it a little bit of sauce, secret sauce. And then I'm going to go down here to F13. Let's go down half steps, then a whole step. All right, we have 12 people watching. This happens occasionally, but instead of an all access lesson, we're live. I think we might be live on YouTube. I added a few extra friends, so we're excited to have you here. And what we're doing this morning is we're doing our new courses coming out. We're doing our blocks. We're doing block 1, reminder, and then our block 3. And these are simply beautiful jazz voicings. Now, why in the world would I have this particular course in mind? One reason is I love the idea of notes that don't repeat. Like this D minor 11 right here. How amazing is this? It doesn't repeat, it's just 2 triads. And as I said earlier, you could take a D minor chord and you spread it out with a C major, and now you have this beautiful sound right here. That's D minor 11, but spread out, right? That's nice, but so is this in its root position. And so this is nice to practice in half steps. Also in whole steps, right? We go D minor with C major. Now we go C minor with B flat major. And my shortcut to that is this. You say D minor. We know that it's root, flat 3rd, 5th, flat 7, 9, 11, but we also know it's a D minor chord, and then you go down a whole step from your root, and now you have a C major. Okay, Vance says I'm live on YouTube. That's quite all right, because I love our YouTube community, and they're awesome. But so let me just see in this particular, let me look at our description here. I want to check out something really quickly here. Okay, so right now you'll see the description. It says request block 1 for the sheet music, and I just mentioned that I had about 5 people last night only say that they would like block 1. So all you have to do is click that link, and I'll simply approve it, and you'll be off and running with block 1 sheet music. Now let's go ahead, because this is a 30-minute all access lesson. We usually go 35 minutes because we use the last 5 minutes just to kind of say goodbye and to go over the practice sessions for the week, or the practice plan for the week. Okay, so what we're doing now is I want you to look at block 3. Let's go. This whole course is built on, this new course is coming out, Simply Beautiful Jazz Voicings. It deals with how do you make these simple voicings that sound amazing, and one of the ways is by not repeating your notes. If I go D minor 11, no notes are doubled. And then I'm here and I go G13 right here. Let me clean up this window here. I'm noticing some interesting overlaps here. I'm going to get rid of that. All right, let's see if I can get back to the chat here. Okay, now you have this right here. When I go to the next part of block 1, I'm doing a G13. Now you have to request block 1. I'm not going to show it on the screen because I have block 3 set up and ready to go. And this course dealing with block 1 is 4 measures long. And the whole idea with this course coming up is how do you play these voicings and do nice, smooth voice leading. This is a descending bass line all the way down, and it teaches you what you can use in solo piano. And let's deal with the next one was this. For block 1, you have a G13 chord, G flat set, you have the root, the flat 7, the 3, the 13, and the 9. And notice that I'm sitting on a voicing, right? What do I call sitting on a voicing? Is when you're taking it going up and down by half steps. You're not in any hurry. Once you get this voicing down, you'll always have it. And like all the time, I'm doing songs where let's say if I'm in the key of C and I do a little 1, 6, 2, 5, and I want to go, I can go down whole steps and do the major there, right? All kinds of things you can do. Or you could just go half steps down all the way down. Another important thing about this particular chord right here is it's a 4th voicing. What in the world is that? With my 3rd, my B up to the E, it's a 4th, the interval of a 4th. B, C, D, E in the musical alphabet, and E, F, G, A in the musical alphabet. So isn't that nice, this shape? And I teach you guys this all the time. Like, I want this shape in all keys. And when I play this particular shape, I don't have to move my hand much. It all fits under the hand. And if you want, you can learn how to play those kind of shapes. And all that is right there, it's half steps. So you'll get used to that shape, but it starts here. It starts by doing, all right, I'm gonna get this spacing down. It may take me a month, it may take me 3 weeks, it may take me a day, but I'm gonna get this way of playing this shape where I hardly move when I go to different keys. If you understand that, put out in the chat and we'll dig right into the third part of this loop right here. And this course that's coming out is definitely geared for beginners and intermediate players. I think it's also good for anybody at any level because I'm showing you how these voicings right here, even in block 1, you're doing this where you're saying, man, what is that chord? So watch this, 2, 5, and then I go, you can do 3, 6, or 1, 6. So we go in the loop. We do an E minor 7 with that nice little roll. And then I go to the 6th chord. This 6th chord, this is a controversial one, right? That I'm still trying to convince Rick, right? So this 2, 5, 1, 6 or a 2, 5, 3, 6 chord progression. All 4 blocks have this chord progression. So I'm teaching you about voice leading in the course, but also how to play certain voicings that don't repeat notes as you go down the keyboard as you're playing solo piano. So you can use these for a lot of different situations. All right, so block 1 one more time. And this chord right here, A7 with a 13 and a flat 9. Notice that a lot of our really pretty jazz voicings have that's funny. The spirit is willing, but the fingering is weak. I like the way you think. Vance, if you ever need somebody that knows how to tell you like it is with a very awesome way of saying it, Vance is the guy, the poet who lets you know it. So at A13 with a flat 9, these flat 9s sound amazing, don't they? So this flat 9 right here is sort of the butter of these jazz chords. If you hear these classic phrases that jazz musicians have done for years and years and years, I'm going to play a very generic turnaround in the key of C, and I want you to understand. Ba da 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 ba da 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 ba da da da. Let me do it again. Has anybody ever heard that sound? Again. I'm going to tell you what's happening there, and then we'll talk about it. As I do third of C down to the third of A, but then ba ba da da, I'm arpeggiating the A, and it goes up to the flat 9. That's what sounds so familiar. And then I go da 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 ba da da da, flat 9. All of these amazing sounds that you hear, you're often hearing that flat 9. Listen to that again. 1, flat 9, regular 9. Doug says he's heard it in bluegrass. In bluegrass jazz? I'm kidding. Doug actually has been quite the mandolin player over his career. Recorded CDs, all kinds of things. Doug is the man. All right, watch this, everyone. You hear the sound. Fifth, flat 9, flat 9. Now notice that even when I'm improvising and coming up with these chord progressions, thinking about my melodic choices on top, my voice leading flat 9, 5th of D minor, flat 9. Okay, here we go. Here is block 3 from the course. Very simple right here, D minor 7. And because the loop comes down, right? By the time you get to block 3, you're coming down. It's just simply this, root, 5, flat 7, and our minor third on top. Notice once again that this is the first inversion, second inversion, no, let me start over. I was trying to read comments and do this at the same time. First inversion F chord in the right hand, D minor in the bass. I just want you to visually see it's an F triad. And in the same way that when we said, how do you build an E minor 7? We said it's the root E with a G chord, right? So G. And a G chord with an E bass is always going to get you an E minor 7 chord, okay? So then the same thing on D minor, you say go up 3 half steps and you have F triad. So if you need a D minor triad or D minor 7 chord, simply put an F triad with a D bass in any particular thing, any particular inversion. Okay, so here's the first one. You're here, and then watch this next chord, everyone. Okay, so root, flat 7, flat 9, 3, and 13. Isn't that a pretty chord just like that? You have the butter area of the piano with our root and our flat 7, our flat 9, 3, and 13. And even with this particular chord right here, I'm thinking voice leading. I'm thinking here. Da. So again, da, da. No, this is not half diminished. This chord right here. So if it was G half diminished, it would be this, right? All I'm thinking is G13 with the flat 9. Oh, you're thinking of you're thinking over the G. You're thinking of the F. If it was a half diminished, right? Yeah. So just a reminder, everyone, let's talk about that question. That's a great question. I love it when you guys ask questions about chords and half diminished versus fully diminished and everything. Let's look at what a diminished chord is in relation to a C chord. So if you say a C triad and I say, all right, to make it minor, you lower the third. If I say, all right, now we're gonna lower the fifth, and now you have a diminished triad. Okay, but let's do a fully diminished triad. Let's do this where you go root of a C chord, flat third, flat fifth, and then you have the double flat of B, which makes it a fully diminished chord. And then if I said, all right, no, it's just flatting it one time, that's a half diminished. So the difference is a diminished chord is built on minor thirds, but a half diminished has a major third interval on the top note. So if Rick was saying, hey, it's over a G chord and it's a half diminished, if I do a fully diminished, it's that, right? And then if I did a half diminished, it's that. But I did this, which is, all that is a G13 chord. There's your 13 with a flat 9. And an easy way to look at that, Rick, and anyone else, is it's a G chord, G7, with our E triad. And that's one thing that I really like about this particular chord, is because I told you guys how, like, I listened to Oscar Peterson. He was my first person to listen to, was Oscar Peterson when I started playing the piano, and then Bill Evans. And I would hear that all the time from Oscar Peterson, of doing all these really nice ballads, and you hear this, or even this, he did amazingly, where he took, like, if it's an E triad and just do inversions. And you have, the diminished scale, which is really important, but in its most simple form, isn't that nice? That if I'm on a G chord and I need that flat 9 sound and I want to go up in an E triad, it's going to sound great, right? So let's put it in the context of where we are in this chorus. You say here, we go D minor, we're on block 3, and then you're here, Even that, I want to hear this go to this, right? And this takes us right back to our, how do you make any E minor 7 voicing? Just take an E chord and go up 1, 2, 3 half steps and play a G triad. And that gets you a minor 7 every day of the week. It doesn't matter what inversion you do, it's going to be a nice E minor 7 chord. Now watch this. I always like to, whenever you can do it, roll up those notes. Get used to doing 3, 2, 1. Just gives it a little flavor there, right? So far we have this for block 3. All right, another thing that I did, notice that not only did I roll it up, but I also did my index finger, the B flat to the B. I mean, we could sit here for days and just practice this kind of sound. Because I'm rolling up and I'm also sliding. If I go back to block 1, I slid off of that. Or I could go. So right there, I did just for fun. I was showing you guys once again the flat 9. Right, you hear, so you'll start to hear that flat 9. On purpose, I was saying, all right, there's my 3, and I go to flat 9 for the A flat, or for the A, 6, D minor to the flat 9. You guys hear this all the time? Listen to that lick again. What's happening? Flat 9, sharp 5 or flat 13. There it is again. There it is on the bottom. Okay, let's keep going down. So D minor, G13, E minor, and watch this chord right here. Now, in an A7, like thinking about this chord as an A7, it's not like an A7 where you go root, 3rd, 5th, flat 7, right? Because it's missing a couple things. It's missing the E, and it's got a lot of tension, right? But what I love about this chord is we're here. It doesn't need the 5th. Very simple, but there's my A13 with the flat 9. It's got the 3rd in it. It doesn't have the flat 7. You know, we're kind of missing that, but I think it's a little much to add that there. It's a little low there, so I'm just playing that. So it's like the A, and you have the triad, F sharp triad here. But listen, what happens next is the D minor, and then we go to our gospel, right? Okay. So again, with this chord, A7 with the flat 9, I'm not even adding the 7th. Don't you guys think it's too much, or do you like it? Let me put it in context. That's flats with it. It's too much, right? So one thing that I want to remind you guys that we did a couple days ago is when you go to that last chord at the end, the last two chords, you have D flat major 7, and listen how nice that 10th is, this interval of the D flat to the F, and you do it with both hands. Yeah. Doug likes it, and Vicky like that. Y'all like it. Now, honestly, it depends what piano you're on in order to make that sound fine with the G. And notice that I also kind of rolled it a little bit. Here you go, and you have your E minor. Now you have this. If I did this, I think it might be a little much. Vance says too much at 8 a.m. I know. And when I first played it, I'm like, I said I would never add that G there. But if I rolled it up, it almost sounds right. Or if I did this. If I added it later. I think it works if you do that. Okay, let's wind this up here. We're going to do this. 2, 5, 1 or 3 to 6. Ah, listen to that. This is like adding some really nice, let's say you're eating some, I don't know, chicken wings or something really, and you want a little spice on it. You're going to throw this little seasoning on it right here. What is that, Rick? You have your your B flat diminished chord, right? And you put a major 7 on top of that. Now, what this actually is it comes right out of the A diminished scale. And by doing this, Rick, I want everybody to, this is like bonus. We're done with block 3 pretty much, but I want to give you this. This is, everybody type, you have to type butter in the chat. And I'm going to show you something that's going to blow your mind with that. This is not like hot butter that is too hot. It's buttery, yeah. So I need a few more butters. All right. So Rick, as expected, Rick says weird chord. I love it. For me, it's so much better to have people say weird chord than to say that it's just, great. All right, let's talk about it, Rick. So this right here it creates an A. If you take this flat 9 away from this A chord, what do you have? An A triad. Right? So watch this. You have this idea of A triad, but with the B flat. So all it is an A7, an A chord, with one extra note. Now Vance is going to think how amazing that is, but yes, after lunch, I get it. But let me give you this context. Watch this. If I go, let's say Perdido, and I go, and then watch this. flat 9, flat 9 of F, flat 9 of G, again, flat 9, so a couple things you can do that if you go, oh, listen to that, rolled it up. All right, there's your flat 9. And just so we're clear, Barry Harris all day long would do those flat 9 kind of sounds, right? Yeah, that's Perdido. The Perdido actually is ba-do-da, 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 but it actually has a horn line. And I just doubled it. Listen to that flat 9 right there. So maybe another important aspect to this new course is not only in the simplicity of the voicings, but the voice leading and the flat 9. Like think about your 2-5-1-6 or 2-5-3-6, and I go from block 1 even 2-5-3-6, flat 9. That's our butter thing, and I go flat 9, flat 9, flat 9. Flat 9. Let me do that again. Let me do this again. I go, and I go flat 9 on the 6 chord, flat 9 on the 5 chord, and I go C, flat 9 on the A chord, flat 9 on the G chord, flat 9 on the A chord, and then I go sus. D flat major 7, C. I see that I'm already over on my time today. All right, let's talk about the end of the week, is that the whole week. I am going to finish this course today. I hope that people get this course. Like I'm constantly doing where I provide these resources. I'm not talking about our all access group. You guys know you get everything. But I'm constantly creating these resources for you, but I've been steering away from doing some simple jazz things, right? We've been doing a lot of blues things. And then I started doing the courses like the 20 Tips for 5-Minute Practice Success. That was a huge hit. And this idea of getting these simple chord voicings, I want them to really get into your fingers and your playing. Like you could be playing hymns, you could be playing anything. And I go, it's a beautiful day in the neighborhood, a beautiful day in the neighborhood. Here's her voicing. And I go, it doesn't matter. I'm dreaming of a white Christmas, just like the one. There it is, G13. I used to know. Flat 9, flat 9, where the treetops, they glisten. Oh, there's your chord right there. And children listen to hear sleigh bells in the snow. Up a half step, flat 9. I'm dreaming of a white Christmas. There's your flat 9. With every Christmas card, G13, I write. May your days, may your days, may your days be merry and bright, oh so bright. And May 3, all 6 with Rick's chord he hates. Right there, I did the same idea of when I was in B flat and I said this. D minor to G13 flat 9. The wheels on the bus go round and round, round and round, round and round. The wheels on the bus go round and round, all through the town. The wheels on the bus go round and round, round and round, round and round. The wheels on the bus go round and round, all through the town. Joy to the world, the Lord is come. Let earth receive her King. 3, 6, 2. Da da da, merry and bright. And may all of your Christmases, may all of your Christmases, may all of your Christmases be white. Flat 9, that's the thing of the day. All right, so here's how you're going to practice this stuff. I know I'm over, but you have to know this stuff. Block 1, a lot of people have been saying, here's what I want from that. Block 1 is this. You could just take that and go for days. Just get familiar with that, right? Have fun with it. 4 chords, that's part of this course, is simplifying things. And also, just so we're all clear here, in the new course, you're going to have this. Is you have chord formulas as well. So, and the whole loop is written out in 2 different styles. One has a half note groove. But anyway, you have these. This is so important right here. If you look at block 1 and you see this, it says 2, 5, 3, 6. It has your chord formulas: root, flat 3, 5, flat 7, 9, and 11. So that you'll be able to say in any key, root, flat 7, and I use a comma to separate left hand and right hand, 3, 13, and 9. So let's do that in another key. We go root, flat 7, 3, 13, 9. Doesn't matter the chord. Root, flat 7, 3, 13, 9. What about A? Root, flat 7, 3, 13, 9. Or I could go flat 9. And now I'm at the money chord of the flat 9, right? So that's what we have to look forward to. And also there's a scale sheet reference coming up too. So in order to spell and play any chord, you have to be able to know your major scales. If you know your major scales and you know your chord formulas, you can play anything in any key, and that's part of the goal at iMusicAcademy. And we have our newest thing that we add our picture chords, which I absolutely love. If I had it my way, I would be putting the picture chords on everybody's piano and say, all right, your chord of the day is this, and you see it, picture chords and everything. All right, guys, what a fun lesson. Thank you for all of the awesome chat. I am thrilled with our YouTube, not only our YouTube community, but our All Access group, our Chord Academy, and those of you who have been purchasing the resources. That really helps out the channel, and you guys are awesome. So real quick, Vance said C, E flat, A flat, and D flat. Yes, so all I was doing there and is what we did the other day. I said you can do 1, 6, 2, 5 all day long, or you could do 3, 6. I could go 3, 6, 2, 5. But what I did here is the ladybird change, which is C, E flat, A flat, D flat. Okay? Yeah, ladybird change. C, E flat, A flat, and D flat. And I could go major, E flat major, and A flat major, and D flat major, or dominant. D flat. Or I could do a mix. Major, dominant, That's what's fun about all of this. It's like we spend time on block 1, everybody, and then you just start putting that in your playing. So that G13, if I'm playing that a hymn, I could go, if I go, and I go, I surrender all. And all I did, G13. There it is, flat 9. Now, right there, I did something that I normally wouldn't do necessarily. If I was doing I Surrender All, the hymn, and I go, I surrender, there's a flat 9, surrender all, instead of like a 1, 6, 2, 5, I go, I surrender all. Let me do that again. I go, there's the chord Rick's on the fence about. Here we go. Here we go. Then it starts over again. I think I put every idea we had this morning in somewhere in that. All right, guys, you have 30 seconds to say goodbye to each other. I hope that you are having as much fun as I am at iMusicAcademy. Make sure you hit your notification bell for whenever I go live, because I often will go live and just do some fun pop-up lessons for our YouTube community. And I'll say this, is that I've been practicing saxophone again. I kind of dusted that off, and some trumpet. I've been consistently trying to practice my trumpet almost every day, and I'm not a trumpet player, I'm not a saxophone player, but I can kind of see myself improving a little bit by consistency. And I say the same thing for you guys on piano or whatever instrument you're playing, is that consistency is the key. Consistency, community, and that's what's fun. That's what's fun about iMusic. All right, guys, have a good one. Let me give my shout outs. I want to give a special shout out to Doug being first on this morning, to Vance, to Vicky, to Rick, of course, Hugh. I might double up some names, to Hugh as well. Let's see, who else do we have here? To Vicky, to Rick, let's see, to T-Man, to Dad. Good to see you, Dad. All right, Vicky, Vance, everybody, Hugh, Doug. All right, you guys are awesome. All right, have a fantastic rest of your day. Go practice and have fun. And remember, this is a journey. This is not, you have to learn everything right at once. Learn one thing at a time. Have fun with it. One thing about iMusicAcademy is that we say repetition is your friend, and nobody's going to get left in the dust. You don't have to go back and learn all stuff. Just show up, and you're going to learn a lot. Have fun. See you in the next video.